Tell me. What is so funny?
You walked in here and you said, I have to check in if everything's untucked, and I said, well, good thing your underwear wasn't untucked, but I didn't say anything. I don't know what you said. It's just funny.
None of that was funny. None of that was funny. You know how when you pull up your dress or your underwear and sometimes your dress gets stuck into it? And to start the podcast with my butt cheek hanging out.
Content.
That was a hard slap. Is your knee okay?
Oh my god.
Anyway.
It's gonna be a long day.
Long night.
Long night. Long.
Welcome to Boozed and Reviewed, episode 2.
This is only our second episode, and we can't even handle it.
I would like to let our listeners know that we just spent 2 hours trying to figure out how to do the microphone and the playback. And here we are. So if it sucks ass, it sucks.
You guys are going to watch it anyway because you are friends of ours.
Honestly, if you've dealt with last month's episode, you're true friends.
Honestly, if you dealt with our own Bookstagrammer.
Yeah, that's true.
We're both almost to a year on Bookstagram because my 1 year is August 31st.
Oh, we gotta do something
so
special.
Yours is gonna be.
I think it was December that I started.
Yeah. So you're coming soon too.
To get closer.
That's pretty exciting. Our 1 year birthdays are coming up. We act like 1 year olds. I mean, me.
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
All right. Yeah. Welcome to Boozed and Reviewed.
Boozed and Reviewed.
Boozed and Reviewed. And
Episode
let's get to the
2.
booze part. What did you say?
I said episode 2.
Oh, yeah. We're on episode 2. Let's just get on with the booze part because
Danielle's already wasted.
I'm not. Don't let her.
She went to Chili's and got the 2-for-1 margaritas, and she's wasty pants.
No, I'm wasted on chicken crispers.
You are the person that goes to a freaking fancy Chili's isn't a fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, I know. But
No,
you got chicken tenders and French fries, didn't you?
No, I got broccoli and rice.
Oh, chicken
with
tenders.
My chicken tenders.
Broccoli and rice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not have alcohol. I'm just like this normally.
She's just an idiot. 24/7. So this month, I don't think she can handle this right now. We got the referral from my lovely sister-in-law to try High Noons.
High Noons.
Which is this one. I think they have a couple different ones. Like they have rum ones, they have vodka ones, they have
they have rum ones.
I think
didn't
so.
know that. Okay.
So I have High Noon vodka soda peach, and Danielle has.
I have vodka and soda pineapple.
So we wanted to try these because, to be quite honest with you, my sister-in-law wouldn't shut the hell up about them. I love you, Kat. Do it.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, that smells really good.
Mine smells good too. You want to smell mine?
You want to smell mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
I like mine better.
Okay.
That's
I
very
like mine.
pineapple-y,
I
though.
like mine. Oh, so I love pineapples. That's why I was like, look at the pineapple.
If this tastes like shit, I could at least smell it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a candle.
You ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Dig it and sink it.
That's not bad.
It's all right.
You don't like it.
I think it would be better chilled. I'm going to drink it, though.
Do you want me to get ice and friggin'?
No. This is fine. I'll drink it. Honestly, it's not bad. I like it. And it's, I was worried that the vodka was going to be, like, really
strong.
forward. But it's not. It's not at all. It's more juice, in my opinion. Do you get more vodka?
I get more peach, honestly. I can't taste
Same.
the alcohol.
I get more pineapple.
You just did.
Stop. Okay. I'm going to have to freaking cut that out because that was a loud scream and I did it right into the mic. I hate myself so much. I just make my life harder by just being me, Because, like, I'm loud. Only with you, though, and, like, certain people that I, like, am close to. Did you see that?
Your life must be so difficult. Please tell me more about how your life is so difficult being you.
I want to talk about your books you read in August.
No, I want to talk about how your life is so hard being Danielle.
Okay, so actually, we didn't rate these. So based
yeah.
So we got to base it on our last, what we tasted
If we
last. Like, what would you have, the Truly Pops over this?
I would have this.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
so much
the
better.
Truly Pops. I don't know
They
if
were okay. But
I don't know if you could see it on the episode either, but they got all over the desk.
Yeah,
they melted.
That's a messy.
And I think that kind of made me
you're just like
dislike them because I had to fucking clean them up.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. I think they would taste better chilled.
Same.
But I still would drink this. We should have put these in the fridge when you got here since we've been working on this shit for 2 hours. These would be frozen by now.
That's okay. We'll just do it later before we drink more. So,
but yeah.
I like this one better. I would say out of 5. I like it a lot. I would drink these over regular seltzers. But
they're expensive.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
I was going to say maybe
we're not made of freaking money.
4 because I spent $20 on 2 packs of 4.
Yeah, so you spent $20 on an 8-pack.
Yeah. But let's see what the percentage is.
I think it's...
Oh my god, it's only 4.5. High Noon, you need to get it in gear with the prices. She goes, Morgan over here's like...
I just want to make your life difficult so you have more things to cut out.
I'm not cutting out even all. That's right.
Okay. So...
Okay.
Do you want to talk about your books or do you want me to start?
No, you start this time because I started last time.
Okay. So I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I read 7 books this month.
Wow, you crushed it. I barely can ever make it past 6.
I finished a book today. Like 5 hours ago, I finished a book because I needed to talk about it and I needed to finish it. And I think one of the books that I'm counting for this month, I started in end of July and didn't finish
so
until beginning of... Yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, 6, not 7. And I started The Shining, and don't even get me started. So technically 7.5. I wouldn't even say I got halfway through that book.
Yeah, I would say not even a half. That was maybe 10 chapters.
7 and then I started another book.
Yeah.
But, okay. So, I don't think these are in order of the way that I read them. It doesn't matter. But the first one on my list is Final Girl Support Group by, there goes my pen, Grady Hendrix. Can't say I liked it, to be quite honest with you.
Everybody loves it.
I know. It was too much. Like, the characters, it was just I hated every single character. They were all really annoying. And they were all just, stupid annoying.
Yeah. Well, so I think you were going into it looking at it as a horror book, but it's actually a comedy. I think it's supposed to be funny.
I don't think it's supposed to be funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's action scenes about murder and stuff.
Oh, see, okay. I thought it was supposed to be funny, but I guess maybe.
I went into it thinking it was a thriller, and it's categorized as a horror book.
Oh.
It wasn't too gory or anything like that. There wasn't anything that made my stomach turn, but the action scenes at the end, I kind of skipped through them because I didn't really...
You didn't really just
I was just I want this book to be done with. I think I rated it a 3. 3, 5.
Interesting.
3 or 3, 5. I can't remember. But that was one that Bookstagram made me do it, and after reading that, I don't want to read his other book.
Yikes.
I just didn't really... And the other one's something about vampires, and that's just not appealing to me.
Yeah.
My own opinion. You know how I am about fantasy. Anyway.
Okay.
Next book that I read. Ugh. The Night She Disappeared by April Henry.
Mm-hmm. I
got that. It's on my Bookstagram. I got that as a BOGO at Barnes & Noble. You know how they have the buy one, get one half off. I saw that it was a mystery or thriller, and I was like, heck yeah, I'll pick it up.
Oh, boy.
I rated that book a 2. And I think that's being generous. I really just also hated all of those characters. And it just was too all over the place. That was the one that I was telling you about where we find out who the killer is, but it's nobody that we had known the entire time.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, spoilers.
Don't read this book if you want to read it.
Well, I think rating it a 2,
Yeah. Danger. Don't read.
In my opinion, yeah. I feel like people... I think it had a 3 or a 3.5 on Goodreads, so people liked it.
Middle rated.
Yeah, but that one had the spelling error in it too that I told you about.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. And it gave you, it was set up so well. It gave you the evidence about the murder as the chapters went on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to figure it out alongside with the author. This is such a cool setup. And she just tumbled it, in my opinion.
Dang.
I did not like that.
I hate that.
The next book that I read was actually a suggestion by our friend Liv. I read 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. That has been also, I think I got that at Barnes & Noble around the same time or same deal. And that one I actually really enjoyed.
I can't wait. I want to read that, so don't give too much away.
Okay. I won't give anything away.
Okay.
I think I rated it a 3 or a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Liv really enjoyed it. References real books.
Yeah, you know, it does. And I was having a conversation with my boyfriend's family about this today.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spoiler for another book in it.
Yes, there is.
Yep.
And I don't know if I read that book.
It's The Secret History. I'm pretty sure. She was talking about it today. And that's what they want to buddy. Like, her and his mom and his sister, they're going to buddy read it together. And she said that there was a spoiler in it about it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, I really want to read that book. So
I could tell you, I read the book and I don't remember what the spoiler was.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it was like a big giveaway.
It wasn't, yeah.
Unless you're reading them at the same time or like you're really excited to read that book, maybe don't. But it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The setup. I'm not going to say anything else because you want to read it.
Yeah.
So I think I rated it a 3 or a 3.5. The End of Her by Sherry Lapina. You know, I think I'm saying her name wrong because I've seen people on Bookstagram say Lapina.
Oh.
So if I'm saying her name wrong, please correct me. But I'm saying Sherry Lapina just because that's how I called it. I will always pick up one of her books. They're the quickest thrillers. May not always be the best, but they are the quickest reads. They have you on the edge of your seat. Sometimes the twists, you see them coming a mile away, but she still does it really well.
Mm-hmm.
That was the book that I read end of July into August, so I couldn't even tell you what I rated it. I think I rated it a 4, maybe a 3, but I didn't hate it.
It was like a good thriller.
It was a good thriller.
She's like an author you always go to for like your kind of reading because you like fast paced twists and thrillers.
Yes.
So that she's like your like kind of like go-to author when it comes to a book you just really want to enjoy and get into. Yeah.
And I honestly, even though I'll always go to her, there are books that she's written that I've rated poorly because I thought that they were dumb or like so poorly written.
But she has like more of like your good middle read for you.
Yeah. So I really liked that book. I read the 2 books that we read this month, Bathhouse and Malibu Rising. We're not going to talk about that right now. And then the book that I finished today, I'm giving you when you leave. Okay. It's Mother-in-Law, and it is basically, without giving anything away, I loved it. I think I rated it a 4, but I'm contemplating a 4.5.
Ooh, so it's pretty good.
It was good. I enjoyed it because I don't know how to say this without giving anything away, and I'm not going to, but it's 2 points of view, and then your past and present.
Oh, okay.
And then it's kind of like when you're reading, there's always 2 sides to every story.
Does it go into like it kind of themes into the present, like it all goes back to one?
The main focus is in the present because there's something that happens in the present. And then if you just solely, like if this book was just written in the present tense and we didn't get the backstory or the past of somebody else, like the other point of view, this would have been a cut and dry, like thriller, mystery, murder book. But the fact that we got the backstory and we got the other point of view, it's one of those books that, like, I know it's cliche, there's 2 sides to every story, but like in one person's point of view, this person is the villain. In this person's point of view, the other person is the villain, and it just kind of like all meshes together, and it kind of makes you kind of look at things more with an open mind. I don't know. I really loved it. I'm giving it to you. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And then Bathhouse and Malibu Rising, I'm not going to talk about until later.
Later. Yeah.
So, what did you read?
Well, before I say what I read, I want you, which one was your best, like your favorite, and which one was your least favorite?
With Bathhouse and Malibu Rising or without?
Without.
Mother-in-Law.
Okay. Is your favorite?
Is my favorite.
And then your least favorite?
The Night She Disappeared.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you go.
So I read a lot of different genres this month. I read, I've been, and I blame Shelby for this, Whimsy her name's Whimsy Reads, I think, on Instagram, and I actually bring the whole book group. They're freaking romance fiends, and I'm like,
I can't.
But I've been on a romance kick, so I read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, Malibu Rising, Our Woman in Moscow by Beatrice Williams, One to Watch by Kate Stamen London, and Bathhouse. So I liked them all. They were all really good. Two were romances, one was a historical fiction, and then obviously Malibu Rising and Bathhouse. People We Meet on Vacation is just a cute little
reading that on
It's
Bookends.
so cute. It's just a cute book.
Would I like it or no?
No.
Ugh.
No way. No way,
Thank
no
you.
how. I think you would think it was boring because it's just a story. It's like a fairy tale, like a modern day fairy tale.
Nope.
Yeah. So I would say if you like fairy tales that are more like adult version that are like romances and it was really cute and you just want something nice and light, I would say People We Meet on Vacation is super good. And I follow Emily Henry, the author, on Instagram, and she's so cute and she's so fun and I love her. She's just like awkward and like quirky, what she does on her stories. Like she'll do her makeup on it. It's just so cute. She's so cute and I love her. And then, so that's a good one. I gave her 3. And then Our Woman in Moscow is a historical fiction based in the Cold War and like the Soviet. It's like based in like American family and like a Soviet family.
Like points of view, you mean?
Yeah, it's like the point of view of 2 sisters. They're twin sisters.
Okay.
And stuff happens. I don't want to say too much, but stuff happens and it's like whatever. It's super good. That was our book club read.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot. I gave it a 4. It was the ending literally blew my mind. And I was just like, what the frick did I just read? Because it's pretty like you build up. It's a slow build. And then the last 20 pages it ends. And it's just like, what did I just read? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a historical fiction. It's about women. It's about not just women. It's just about spies in like the Cold War. And it's really, really good. And if anybody wants a good historical fiction to read, I would say get that one.
Interesting.
And then my favorite book of the month was One to Watch.
I'm excited to read. You own that, right?
Yeah, I do. Shoot, I should have brought it.
You should have brought it. Damn
Sorry.
it.
It's okay.
It's not like I'm seeing you in 2 days.
Yeah. So, One to Watch by Kate Stamen London. Okay. So, it's pretty.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. It's about a woman who is plus size and she ends up on a dating show and she's the head. So, it's like a bachelor dating show. And she's plus size and she's on the show to break boundaries and like it's basically about her time on this dating show. So she goes from week to week and she goes on dates with these men and it goes to her final rose and all that stuff and it's so good. And it's like, and I watched it in between Katie's season and Bachelor in Paradise, so it was like a whole nother season of Bachelor.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is she the Bachelorette?
Yeah, she's the Bachelorette.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a
No,
contestant
she's not
on like a
contestant.
okay.
So she's the Bachelorette, so she's the one choosing the men.
Ooh, okay.
Well, the man. So yeah, it was really good. I liked it. Yeah, it's so
I'm
good.
excited to read that.
It's super good. If you love Bachelor and dating shows like that, you should definitely read it. And it's like, it's a romance, but it's not because like it's like you're watching a Bachelor, like a reality show, but just reading it, and it's so good.
Would you rate it?
A 5. I loved it so much. It was so good. I wanna read it again soon because it's so good. I like that.
Wow.
It's just because I think I'm like super invested in the Bachelor universe and all that stuff. So it's just like so good. I loved it.
Okay.
And then and then I read Bathhouse and Malibu Rising. So I didn't really read a whole heck of a lot this month, but I read a good majority of it.
So if you already told us what your favorite was, what was your least favorite if you had to choose? I know you said you read good books this month.
Yeah. Counting Malibu Rising and Bathhouse or not?
No.
My least favorite would probably be People We Meet on Vacation. Just because it wasn't really, there wasn't really anything like big and twisty. It was just kind of like your good old story and like just a romance, and it was really cute. But my new book boyfriend's in that book, and his name is Alex, and he's so adorable.
I feel like a lot of people are picking like their book boyfriend from that book.
Yeah,
I've seen.
He's sweet, and he's like super caring. And when I was reading it, I think the main character's Poppy and Alex, and Poppy and Alex remind me of me and Mike.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so I think that's why I loved him so much, because he's just so awkward and cute. And I was like, oh my god, I love this guy.
Mike's gonna watch this and be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, he's gonna be like, no, I'm a man.
No, Mike, no.
So yeah, I would say People We Meet on Vacation's my least favorite, solely for the fact that it was just not as exciting as the other ones I've read.
Mm-hmm.
But if we were
Yeah. I already know the answer to this. If we're counting Bathhouse and Malibu Rising,
it's gonna be Bathhouse.
okay.
So yeah. So
Okay.
that's what. Yeah, I would say read one to watch.
I'm very excited to take that from you.
I should have read it. I'm sorry I didn't.
Oh, it's okay.
I got Razorblade Tears, and I was like, she really wants to read that, so I got to bring it to her.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that. There was just something that I was going to tell you, and I really forgot.
You've got a booger in your nose.
No, that one I wouldn't forget. I don't know
Call
what it was.
something right.
Oh, because you were talking about your book boyfriend. So
yeah.
Before that, did you have a book boyfriend?
Yeah.
Who?
Okay, so you haven't read Little Woman.
No.
Lori from Little Women. I love Lori.
Okay. And now that trumps.
Oh no, and what's his name from Where the Crawdads Sing?
No, you can't have him.
Chase, right? His name's Chase.
Absolutely not.
Not Chase.
Tate.
I love Tate.
I was literally gonna say, if we're talking about book boyfriends, Tate is my book boyfriend.
I love Tate.
From Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh, Tate. I love Tate.
I can't wait to watch the show or movie or whatever they're making.
I hope they do it well, because if they don't, the book's so good, and if they don't do it well, it's not gonna. It's like, okay, so like The Woman in the Window. That book was so good.
Oh my god, and that show sucked.
The movie was
It was a movie.
It was okay.
It sucked.
Okay, I thought it was okay, because I've seen a lot of bad movies in my life, and it was just okay.
I was so excited to watch that, and Josh sat down to watch it next to me, and he was like,
What's going on?
What are we watching, and what's going on?"
They left out so much.
It made,
much.
you know what? It probably wasn't as bad for us because we read the book. We knew what was happening. Yeah. As someone not reading the book and going into it, they were probably like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, because they left out so much. And the way the writer put it together, like the author, put it together in a book form.
So good.
It played out better than a movie did. Because they left out so much. And I don't know. It was just, I don't know. The killing at the end was so graphic, and I was just like,
I don't even know if I made it to the ending, to be quite honest. No, I did. I know what you're talking about. Never mind.
Yeah, where you saw through the mouth.
Okay, I don't remember that, and we don't have to get into it for people who haven't seen it. I know what happens because of the book and the movie and everything, but I just can't remember that part.
I thought it was okay. I mean, if you read, I would say read the book, because the book was so much better.
That was the book that you gave me to go on my honeymoon with, and that's what I got back into reading on. The Woman in the Window. Yeah,
the book's so good. A lot of people don't like it, but I mean, I thought it was really good.
It was something to get me back into reading. So.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, reading.
Okay. So, now we're going to get into Bathhouse.
Yay, Bathhouse.
So, let's just explain to some maybe new listeners that we're going to be talking about Bathhouse and Malibu Rising. Bathhouse first, as you can see. We are not going to hold back. We are going to discuss spoilers. We are going to discuss the entirety of the book. Maybe not as in-depth as we did with Survive the Night.
There was a lot going on in Survive the Night.
There was.
So, and we're going to limit it down to a few major plot points and all that stuff, and from between the both of us, so it won't be as long, and we're going to kind of just like go through it, just because it seemed a little bit long and it was confusing. But Survive the Night, there was just so much.
And we buddy read it, so I think that kind of
and
we didn't buddy read these.
Yeah. So it'll be less this time. So if you want to read Bathhouse, do not listen to this section, because we are going to go into spoilers.
Yes, we are going to
go
into spoilers.
So,
all right, read the synopsis, will you?
Okay, so the synopsis of this is: Oliver Park, a young recovering addict from Indiana, finally has everything he ever wanted: sobriety and a loving, wealthy partner in Nathan, a prominent DC trauma surgeon. Despite their difference in age and desperate background, read that wrong, but that's fine. They made a perfect life together. With everything to lose, Oliver shouldn't be visiting House, a gay bathhouse. But through the entrance he goes, and it's the line crossed. Inside, he follows a man into a private room, and it's the final line. Whatever happens next, Nathan can never know. But then everything goes wrong, terribly wrong, and Oliver barely escapes with his life. He races home in a full-blown terror as the hand-shaped bruise grows dark on his neck. The truth will destroy Nathan and everything they have together, so Oliver does the thing he used to do so well. He lies.
Okay. Should we start right out with the rating, or should we go into plot points first?
Nope, let's start with the rating.
Tell me your thoughts, Danielle.
Okay, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Do you want me to just say why I didn't like it?
I mean, that's kind of what the podcast is about.
The characters are sucked. They were all awful people.
There was one character that was good.
Tilly.
Yep. The dog.
I'm so happy that we're on the same page as that.
I read your notes after I put my notes in, and yours, I have something on here about Tilly, but your notes literally say, where the hell are they?
They're the small, yeah.
Tilly and only Tilly is your favorite character. Sorry, I just took that away from you, but
it's okay. Tilly was the best character and was the dog. And the dog deserves so much better from these people.
Fucking idiot owners. Anyway,
okay,
yes,
the characters were all awful people. Awful, awful, awful. So, like, I think that's why I didn't like this book, is there was no one to root for.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
There was no one to root for and no one to like.
I feel like in the beginning, no. I feel like in the beginning we could kind of root for Nathan a little bit because we didn't know how psycho he was.
Yeah, but we kind of as we kept going into it, it kind of seemed like he just snapped. Which I think he was okay, but then I think he snapped. Or was he like this the whole time? That's where I kind of got confused.
He could have covered it up very well. He could have been able to like manage and handle and whatever, but he just kind of like. I was just on to him a little bit more when we started getting these little subtle things. Yeah. I don't remember it. Like I read Bathhouse way before you did and you just read it. So
yeah, I think the whole he was very, I think the controlling thing, he was very, very controlling over Oliver. And the phone Cash App thing that he could he could see everything that he spends. That was like one really big red flag. And I was just like, okay, now I can't really root for anybody. I didn't really like anybody, honestly. Like, the mom was awful. The best friend was awful. Oliver was awful. Nathan was awful. It was just, like, every single person. And, like, the detective lady was even awful. Like,
I kind of liked her. I wouldn't.
She wasn't really a major plot character.
No, I wouldn't give her, like, she was my favorite character. But she kind of came through and was like, you need to get your shit together before. Like, she kind of helped Oliver out when, like, I kind of wanted to root for him in the beginning because everybody makes mistakes. Maybe that's, like, a mistake that he made. But then he just kept getting himself into stupid situations. And then I just really was like, I want you to die.
I think that's why I really didn't like the book, is just solely for the fact that for me, there wasn't really anybody to root for. There wasn't really an underdog. It was just kind of like everybody sucked. So I didn't like it. Yeah. But I liked the thriller aspect of it. The whole thriller theme of it was really, really good. Just, I wish that somebody was a little less shitty so that I could root for somebody.
Tilly. You could root for Tilly.
So I wish that Tilly got a better ending because she ended up with Oliver, and that made me kind of sad. But the dog seemed happy, so I don't know.
I really, I agree with you. I think it was a great thriller. Like, it gave me anxiety. I was reading through it, and I was like, oh, my God, I need to keep reading. And then once we got to, was it the cabin in, like, North Carolina or wherever they went to?
The beach house or whatever.
They went down there, and I was like, okay, who could this person be that Tom's bringing as, like, his new boyfriend? And I really honestly didn't figure it out when he opened the door and he was like, he said Hector. I looked into the back of the book and I was like, who the fuck is Hector? Because I forgot.
See, I knew that was there. I knew that was coming. Just because I was like, well, I thought it was either going to be Christian or Hector.
I thought it was going to be Christian. Yeah. I was like, that would have been a stupid twist, to be honest, if it was Christian. But then it ended up being Hector and I was like, wait a minute, who is this? And then I figured it out and I was like, okay, that's a better twist than it being Christian. But then the whole ending, it just...
Yeah.
No.
Hector was a poop stain.
I feel like all the characters...
They were all so dumb. You don't understand how much I hated all these characters. They were all shitty. They were just awful people. Like, not everybody's like that.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. If the ending wasn't the ending and the characters were still shitty, but it had a better ending, would you have rated it better?
No.
You still just really didn't like it?
I just don't like the characters.
Okay. That's fair.
No, but I liked the ending. I liked how it was.
Oh, really?
You didn't like the ending?
No.
Why?
I didn't like the ending because, first of all, when he thought it was the mom,
Yeah.
I was like, this is such a dumb, like, it sort of makes sense, but this would have been such a dumb way to end.
Yeah.
And then I figured it was going to be Nathan. When we find out that it's Nathan, and then he literally loses his shit and like just starts coming after Oliver, I was like, wait a minute, this is the person that you've like claimed to love for so long. How are you instantly going to snap?
Yeah, that's why I was so confused, because I was like, what?
I just couldn't follow it.
Yeah, I liked the way it ended, but I understand your point, because like it seems so like right then and there he just was like, ah.
And the plot twist, like they gave the mom as the plot twist. What?
Okay, I think why he probably snapped is because Oliver knew he killed Christian. And
But I feel like Oliver wouldn't have cared about that. Oliver was trying to kill
true.
Christian.
Yeah, I don't know. It was all just like he snapped, and there wasn't really any huge red flags besides that he was controlling.
I just really thought, because you know how when plot twists happen, usually most thriller books have the initial plot twist, and then it's kind of like a fake plot twist, and then something else happens.
Yeah.
Which happened in this book. I feel like it happened. We got the mom as the plot twist, the initial plot twist. And then 2 pages later, we find out that it's Nathan. And I was like, okay, usually
really
it was
fast.
just fast.
Yeah.
I was trying to grasp the fact that I hated it being the mom. And then it just changed to Nathan. And I was like, well, that's what I figured was going to happen. This didn't surprise me. It just kind of dragged out even longer. Like if it initially was just Nathan and we didn't have a second plot twist, then I don't know if I would have liked it better, but I wouldn't have dwelled so much on the fact that I hated that it was the mom. And I was like, I hate this book. I hate it. And then it ends up being him, and I was like, well, this just could have saved me a fucking...
Yeah, a whole lot. Yeah, and I think after Nathan is killed, I think that it kind of drags a little. You know?
And his parents side with him. Nathan's parents sided with Oliver out of nowhere.
I think that's solely for the fact that Oliver would just get out of their lives, because they just didn't want Oliver in their lives in general. So I think that it was just like them getting it done with, and they're just like, let's just end our ties and be done. Because I don't think they really liked Nathan as a son either.
Nathan gave him a hard time because he loved Oliver so much.
Yeah.
But you'd think if this person that you don't like killed your son, wouldn't you be like, I mean, they were literally on the phone with the police framing them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he murders your son, and then you're like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't know what that noise was, but it was just such a weird ending. And I don't even remember like the ending. Oh no, Oliver starts using again. He picks up his the doctor notepad, and then he goes and writes himself
he didn't take it. He flushes it down the toilet. He was going to, and then he flushes it down the toilet. Then he writes himself the script, so he did do something illegal, but he never
it just kind of ends weird. It ends on like a weird cliffhanger.
Yeah, maybe there's gonna be another one. I don't know. It was okay. It was just okay. The thriller aspect was really good. Remember when so back to the ending. I texted Morgan randomly one night, and I said, I knew it. And then I was like, disregard everything I just said. So that was about the mom being the killer. And then I read 2 pages, and I was like, disregard everything I just said.
So this, literally the last 2 sentences of the book says, prescribed by Dr. Nathan Klein. It's the lies. Oh. You playing footsie with me?
Oh, did I touch your foot? I'm on my foot's asleep, so I didn't feel it.
You literally just went over and you were like,
oh God, it hurts.
Oh,
I've got the pins and needles.
So he does it again, because I know what you're talking about. That happened at one point.
Yeah.
But then he just goes and does it again, and I'm just like, wow, what a fucking dingus.
Right.
Because what you're talking about is when he goes and he sees the fentanyl.
Yes.
He sees the fentanyl thing, and then he flushes it down the toilet. Mm-hmm. But then that happens, and he's like, I'm just going to use again. And I just like...
Yeah, you went through this whole thing, and you're just going to start all over.
Yeah. I don't know. I hated him.
I didn't mind and I thought there was going to be way more sex scenes. Way more. There wasn't that many.
Really? One of the things that I wrote that I didn't like was that there was so much sex.
Oh, okay. Well, you should read more romances.
No, but they literally, like... I'm really sorry, but one of the things that they were talking about...
Oh, yeah. I know what you're going to bring up.
But was the fact they were like, I think he was like giving him a blowjob or something like that. And he talks about when he finishes, and he talks about bleach going down his throat. I'm sorry. That is disgusting.
Yes, you didn't like the whole descriptive sex thing. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't as uncomfortable with this as I usually am with romance sex scenes, which is really weird. I don't know.
There was just a lot of like I don't care about if there's a lot of sex in a book. It's just descriptive.
The in-depth description, like the bleach going down his throat. Let's calm
down.
Yeah,
and he was just talking. Yeah, there was just a lot of different. I'm really sorry for our listeners, but like,
yeah, it's aggressive.
That was just one of them. I stopped, I think, and I read that to Josh, and then he was like, "What the hell are you reading?"
I tried to describe this book to Mike, and he was like,
"I don't want it. No,
like,
thank
Why
you."
are you guys reading that? But yeah. Okay.
So what are things that you liked about it?
So, I said I liked I just went over. I liked that it was a thriller aspect, and like when I was reading from Oliver's like point of view, I was very, very scared. Like the whole time, I was like really like uncomfortable just reading his point of view because he's always being chased and he was like always on his guard and stuff. So that was like one of the things I really liked. And the point of view switch, I think that if the author did not include between Nathan and Oliver and the point of view switch, I don't think it would be as good. If you think so, like think about it only in Oliver's perspective, I don't think it would be as good as Nathan and Oliver.
Well, yeah, because we got all of the like we found out when he was getting the prescription and going and calling an escort and going and like we kind of put two and two together that maybe that was Christian.
So I like point of view switches, and I
me too.
I liked the ending. I thought it was good, and I liked the author. So obviously we're not gay men, right? So we don't really know the life of dating as a gay man. So I thought the author was very good with describing like the dating apps and like the terms of different like men they see on dating apps. I thought that was like the way he described life as a gay man, a queer man. Sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I just did. This is how it is.
This is how I is.
How it is. So I just like how descriptive he was and how like kind of open to how different people are going to read this book. So I liked that. And then Tilly. Doggy. What did you like?
Let's see what I liked. I just put that the build-up had me like on edge for most of the book. It was such a good build-up, and then it just kind of seemed like it was all
a for you.
Yeah.
I think that's what I mean by like the constant fear I felt. Like I think that's what I felt the same way, because it was just like you're like, geez, what the heck is happening? And like you just kind of put yourself in his shoes.
I really liked also the switch between the narration and the text messages.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I love the dialogue switch or like how we're reading it kind of switch between the text messages and like when Christian was texting him over and over again. Tell Nathan. Yeah. It just kind of like put me more in this scene, but I still hated it. But it's funny though, because you rated it a 3 and I rated it a 3.5.
Yeah. So it's like
it's the same. Yeah. But yeah, I thought 3 was too mean because I really enjoyed the build up. It's just the ending was a flop.
The ending was, I think, so I gave it a 3 solely for the fact that like I didn't mind the ending. I gave it a 3 solely for the fact that it was the characters. There was no one to root for. There was really literally no one to say, hey, that person's a good person. They deserve to be rooted for, and they deserve this ending.
Except Tilly.
Except Tilly. Heart, the little doggy. So
Except Tilly.
Yeah, So.
And I know we kind of touched on this, but just for the category, what didn't you like about it?
In all caps, I wrote any of the characters. And there was I think it was kind of a slow build at times. There were certain things that I was just like, okay, whatever. The tough topics could be like there's a lot of tough things that are talked about in this book. Like, so if you're like very sensitive to certain topics like rape, death is in it, substance abuse. If you're like sensitive to those topics, I would say avoid this book because there's a lot of tough things that are discussed in this book. Not that I didn't like it, but I think it should be mentioned.
Those are some trigger warnings that need to be mentioned.
Yeah, so I figured like people might have a tough time with that, so that's something that like you might want to avoid if you want to read this. Maybe just be a little sensitive to that, I guess. And then that's pretty much. I just didn't like the characters. I know I've said it 1,002 times right now, but
I put on what I didn't like was how Oliver was the dumbest and most annoying character alive.
Whoa, wait, okay. Charlie or Oliver from Survive the Night?
That's a tough one. I feel like Oliver, just because like he got out of so many weird situations. I don't know how he did, but Charlie also did too.
Charlie, we could root for though, because Charlie was like a good person.
Yeah, that's
true. But then Oliver's just a
dumb idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. He literally, the thing that drove me nuts is, okay, so he gets out of the situation with Christian, and then he deletes his app where Christian communicates with him, right? And then he doesn't hear from him, and then he goes and communicates with him again, and then meets him in a hotel.
Yep.
You're just asking to get hurt.
Yeah.
I know why he did it, but like logical people who are.
I think he was also very paranoid too.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, rightfully so. When he came home and saw Christian in his house, and then the USB, and then Tilly being gone, like I probably would have been as paranoid as he is. But he was just an annoying character to begin with. Like you said, we couldn't root for him, so I think that made me hate him more and think he was just more annoying.
Yeah, he just. Yeah.
Yep.
Meh. Hate.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about with Bathhouse?
Yeah, just one more thing. So,
okay.
Did you have any other theories about the ending besides the mom?
Like who it was?
Just like in general, like how, like do you ever read the book and just kind of like think like of a theory, like of how this might end? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so when I was reading, I was like, oh, I wonder if Oliver is just imagining Christian and he's on drugs the whole time.
Okay. So,
do you know what I mean now?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of thought that maybe Hector had more to do with it because why bring him
in randomly?
Yeah. And then when he kind of showed up,
yeah,
I was like, okay, maybe something's going on. Like Oliver could be very paranoid and could be just, I don't know. Something was clearly off, and we kind of didn't know what it was for a while. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any really other theories. I kind of figured once we got to the end that it was Nathan. And then that's why I was so friggin' annoyed that it was the mom for 2 pages. And then it was Nathan again. And I was like, okay. Well.
I didn't really suspect Nathan to try to kill Oliver. That's the thing that I didn't suspect. I had a feeling Nathan was being a bad person. And I was like, oh, it's definitely the mom. But yeah. So.
Yeah.
Meh. I don't know. If you're interested and want to read it, I'd say go for it.
I would definitely I'm going to recommend this book to some people who are interested, but I'm like, well, I also own the book and I kind of want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. Anybody wants to trade books? Just kidding.
Anybody wants to trade books?
Yeah. So I don't know. Whatever. It was good. It was good thriller wise. I don't know. It's not my favorite. It's something that's why I got it from the library because I don't think I would reread it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's why I'm trying to get rid of it. You want it?
No.
You know anybody who wants it? It's right there.
No. Should we do a giveaway?
Maybe we'll do we could do a giveaway for your bookiversary.
Yeah, I can
contribute
some books to that.
I know some people who can contribute.
Okay. Maybe there's a giveaway in the future, friends.
You missed my fucking...
I did.
Wait, hold on. Ready?
Idiot. Okay. So yeah, that's Bathhouse for you. It was good. It was all right.
I didn't hate it. Okay, she's gonna throw it out the door.
It's done. It's going back to the library and I'm gonna kill it.
Oh my gosh. Next book. Da 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 da. Malibu Rising.
Yeehaw.
By Taylor Jenkins Reid. All right. So the synopsis of this book.
Okay. This is a long one.
Let me read the synopsis here. It's just the 1 page, right? Yeah. Okay. Malibu, August. Malibu, August 1983. It's the day of Nina Riva's annual end of summer party, and the anticipation is at its fever. I feel like you. At a fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas. Nina, the talented surfer and supermodel. Brothers Jay and Hud. One a championship surfer, the other a renowned photographer, and their adored baby sister Kit. Together, the siblings are a source of fascination in Malibu and the world over, especially as the offspring as the legendary singer Mick Riva. The only person not looking forward to the party of the year is Nina herself, who never wanted to be the center of attention and who has also just been very publicly abandoned by her pro tennis player husband. Oh, and maybe Hud because it is a long time it is long past time to confess something to the brother of whom he's been inseparable since birth. Jay, on the other hand, is counting the minutes until nightfall when the girl he can't stop thinking about promised she'll be there. And Kit has a couple secrets of her own, including a guest she invited without consulting anyone. By midnight, the party will be completely out of control. By morning, the Riva mansion will have gone up into flames, but before the final spark in the early hours before dawn, the alcohol will flow, the music will play, and the loves and secrets that shaped this family's generations will all come bubbling to the surface. Ooh.
Do you want to start?
Yes.
So rating.
Yes. Sorry, I just need to...
No, you're good. Morgan, okay, I just want everybody to know we write down our notes of what we're going to talk about. My notes were 1 page. Morgan has 3 pages of notes.
That is false. I have 2.
Okay, Morgan has 2.
Technically, that's 1 because this is Malibu Rising. That's Bathhouse.
Okay, she has 2 pages.
I understand. Okay. My rating, you said?
Yes.
5.
I gave it a 5. So
I
good.
loved this book, and we'll get into it obviously, but I have a lot. This book made me very emotional.
I liked it a lot. I did not. Morgan's an emotional person, which is like
that is false.
When she reads books.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's better.
Because I don't cry or as much when I read books. I feel the feels.
This book made me, and when I say cry, I don't mean like
she gets a tear.
All out. Yeah. Like my eyes were watering, and I had to like sniffle a minute. Yeah. That happened to me 3 times in this book.
Oh gosh, I think probably because I was on the beach. That probably I didn't feel the emotions as much, but I loved this book.
Let me tell you, I went into this book thinking it was a thriller.
Oh.
So near the end, I was like, where's the murder? Nobody's dying.
Yeah, it's a historical fiction.
I found that out afterwards.
Yeah.
But it honestly made up for it.
Yeah.
Because I think halfway through I read... Also, if you're going to need to correct me, because this entire book, I thought it was Mick Rivera. And it's Mick Riva.
Yeah, it's Riva.
I know.
Oh.
And I know that. So whenever I say Rivera, if I say it, just correct me. That's what I mean if I say Rivera. Because I know a lot of people in this area apparently have the last name Rivera.
Oh.
And I don't know anybody with the last name Riva. So when I was reading it, I would just
like Rivera.
I would say Mick Rivera. And that kind of sounds good, right? Nina Rivera?
Sure.
Okay. Anyway. It's Riva. I know it's Riva. I'm just kind of dumb.
Validation. It's fine.
I loved. This gave me, I hope you'll understand when I say this, this gave me Where the Crawdads Sing vibes.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that because there was a lot of characters and it was family based, and yeah, no, I totally get it.
The character growth, the character development, there was a lot of similarities, but not like about the topic of the book or the theme of the book.
Yeah, and I think the historical fiction aspect doesn't really talk about history as much as other historical fictions are, because it's more based on a time period. And, like, the clothing and the way they talk is more the historical based. Yeah. Rather than you're introducing history. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's, like, certain... Like, okay, Our One in Moscow had a lot of history in it.
Right, yeah.
But it's not as... I don't know. I think it was very light.
Okay.
Of a historical fiction.
Are you talking about Malibu? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a lighter historical fiction, which I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. It was very character based. Yeah.
So this is something that I usually hate. There was a lot of characters in this book.
Yeah, but
it all worked.
It worked well.
Yes, that was one of the things. Skipping down a little bit, but I put the different point of views and the different characters. Any other book, it would have felt like it was too many characters, but she does it so well.
Oh yeah, it worked so well, and I think it's because the only time she introduces random characters is at the party. Right.
Or when they're important. Like, she's not going to introduce characters. Like, we meet...
Kit's best friend,
Vanessa. What the heck was it was a Tareen.
Oh, yeah.
We meet her at the party, and she kind of has a major role at the party, but we didn't get introduced to her, like, in the beginning of the book.
And I think that's why it worked so well, because it was only in the party, and it was... You kind of got the chaos of the party through her introducing all of the random characters. Yeah. Yeah. It worked really, really well. I agree.
So we have Nina, who's the oldest.
Yep.
We have Jay was the second one.
Yeah, it was Nina, Jay,
Hud,
and then Kit.
And HUD is not biologically June is their mother.
Right, yeah.
HUD is not biologically June's. This freaking lady just shows up on her doorstep and was like, here's a baby. And simultaneously, June is getting a whole child, finding out her husband is cheating on her, and finding out that her husband has a whole other child.
Yeah.
That's a lot for one person.
Yeah.
That's a lot just in general. But like, that's just a lot.
Yeah.
So she finds all this out. And let me tell you, I know it pissed you off.
Morgan's gonna go in on this book.
I know it pissed you off when she goes to change the locks. And the locksmith is like, I need the man of the house's permission.
Oh my
and she's like, I live here. And he's like, yeah, but you don't own the house.
Yeah, this was based in the 60s. I think
well,
it's
the
60s,
book,
70s.
let's see.
I'm not sure.
83 is the present. And then, let's see. Sorry.
That point of view, I think, was 60s. But,
Sorry,
yes, I know what you mean. That's frustrating. There's a lot that happens in this book.
Yes, you're right. 60s.
Yeah. So, I mean, based on that time period, that's normal. That's going to totally be normal.
Yes. It definitely, like, it didn't surprise me. And then we'll get into the instance at the party with the cops. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to throw my book across the fucking room. Anyway. Let me just reiterate, I loved this book.
Yeah, no, this book's good. And it's like, it's another book that we could probably go super in depth in, but
yeah, we're not
going
to do that. You and I can do that off.
Oh yeah, we'll probably go into it after the pod.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you want to talk to us more about it, comment in our comment section.
Yeah.
On our book Instagram post.
Yeah.
On our pod page, and then we can all talk about it.
Or on our YouTube.
Or our YouTube.
You can't leave comments on Spotify.
Or just send us a DM.
Yeah, send us a DM. We have an email, don't we?
We do. Oh yeah, we do. booksinterviewpod@gmail.com.
You made the email.
I know I did. I'm like, we do? I don't know anything ever.
But we're always down. You know, we should have, once we get more of a grounding, we should do like a book club.
A book club, yeah. That'd be
I know
fun.
you already have a bunch of book clubs that you're in, but we should
12.
do another one.
Let's do another.
We should do another one.
Yeah, you should read. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk about it after. So we have the children.
Yeah.
We have June. We have Mick, and we switch from.
Yeah, June and Mick.
Yep.
Parents.
So we switch from present day point of view, mostly Nina, but the other children's point of view as well. And then we switch to the past where it's mostly June.
Yeah, it's mostly June.
Sometimes we get
Mick, yeah.
But mostly June.
Yes.
So Mick and June meet when they're like young. I want to say like maybe like 18, 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he swoops her off her feet. And he's like, I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to be the greatest man for you.
Yeah. He just makes up a bunch of promises in okay, again, 60s. He just promises her all these this good life and how all that jazz and whatnot. So, okay, I was like, somebody's in your house. So yeah. So he just makes a bunch of promises.
Yeah, and I think I forgot that it was in the 60s. I knew I kept seeing the dates, but it just didn't register. So that makes a lot more sense, unfortunately, that he was like, yeah, I'm going to get you out of this, whatever. And then she was working at
her family's restaurant.
Yeah,
and there was a it wasn't low class. It was just they were losing money. They were always in the red.
Yeah, they were always in the red. So she grew up working there and she was like, I'm not going to have my kids work there. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. I want to do something better for myself. And then she ends up owning this restaurant. And I think one of the things that kind of broke my heart was how hard she tried to get them. When she was sitting there, one of the things that stuck out to me was when they got really busy. She was at the restaurant with all of her kids and Nina starts cleaning off tables.
Yes.
And she's like, no, take the kids to the beach, go play with your sister and brothers.
Yeah. And
go down there.
She really tried really hard to have her kids not live the life that she did.
Yes. She tried so hard and it sort of worked.
But
sort of didn't.
Yeah. It's June's story is super, super traumatic. It's just a very, very sad story, and I don't think she really deserved it. I think June, as a character, and if it could have been such a good person,
mm-hmm.
If she lived longer, and I think that if she lived longer and there was, she was in these kids' lives longer, I think she could have
mm-hmm.
been something for them. she is something for them, but like more. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, they
Yeah.
kind of grew up, like Nina was the oldest, so she kind of was the one that was taking care of all the kids when her mom was passed out drunk at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So June ends up, after she finds out Mick is cheating on her, and after she gets what's his name?
HUD.
I can't. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's
HUD,
okay.
dropped off at her house. She kind of takes on alcoholism.
Yeah, she starts drinking, and she starts drinking while she's at the restaurant. Like, she'll go on lunch, and she'll just have an alcohol. She'll have a drink, and then she'll go home, and she'll open up a bottle.
Yeah, it gets pretty bad. Like, they develop the timeline, and they kind of, like, you see it just getting worse and worse.
And I think one of the things that, like, also, like, this book just really broke my heart, but also mended it back together in so many ways. When Kit, the youngest of all of them, was like, Mom, you're an alcoholic, and you're destroying this family.
Like, your youngest daughter is telling you that.
Yeah.
You would think that would, like...
And she kind of got her shit back together.
Yeah, and then... Wait, didn't something... Yeah, but yeah, so...
She finds out, I think, that Mick got married again.
Yes,
Something triggered her to start drinking
and
again.
And then she drowns herself.
I don't think she planned on it. I think she just
got drunk and
I think she just got drunk in the bathtub and then passed out because she passed out when she drinks and then drowned.
Yeah, so it's a very traumatic story for June, and like I wish that wasn't the ending for her, but she dies, and it's like really super sad, and like so
and then Nina turns into June basically,
but
not in a bad way. She
pretty much matures immediately and was like, okay, I gotta take care of my family. She found
her mom.
Yeah, she found her mom.
And one of the times that I teared up when she had to bring her siblings to the beach and tell them that mom was dead,
yeah.
And sorry, this is gonna be a little emotional.
That's okay.
She literally describes how they all fell down, and she was like, I was there to catch them. And she was like, what, 16?
Yeah.
15 even?
I think young. She was like 14. Yeah, it was like super
young because she was still in school, and I think she ends up dropping out of school to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
And it just, like, that was one of the things that really, like, destroyed me a little bit.
Super
like,
emotional.
I don't know if you can see. I have tears in my eyes right now. That destroyed me.
Yeah, and, like, I think I got teary-eyed for there, too, because, like, and, like, even going through her life after that, and, like, how she busts her butt, and, like, really, like, she runs the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
She runs the restaurant. She makes sure her brothers and sisters get through school.
Yep.
She pays the bills.
Somehow she
figures it out, and she goes, and she has to do this in quiet so that social services won't take her brothers and sisters away from her, because Mick's not there. Mick's gone,
and everybody knows it too.
And I think the thing that I loved is that she never ever tried to call. Nina never tried to call on her dad for help. Never. She was like, I'm doing this, and I'm gonna keep my siblings near me, and this is gonna be our lives, and we're gonna do it. And I liked that none of the people in their neighborhood called them out. Like, remember in the school, the principal was like, he knew but didn't call out and like go call social services.
He was the one that was like, just lay low.
Yeah,
when you're 18, we'll figure it out.
And I love that. And I not that would be a good thing, but like
they had their best interest. Like they knew that Mick was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, they knew. So yeah, it was such a good like family growing book, and like all these people were super strong characters, like especially Nina. Nina personally for me was my favorite character, because she just was so strong and so like just like a really I liked her ending too. So like I don't know, I just like was really really good.
Sorry, I'm listening to you. I'm looking at my notes because I know there's a lot of this book, but like
I guess let's just like go into the major plot points that you.
Okay, well the biggest one, the fact that this is in the same world as Evelyn Hugo.
Well, okay,
Seven Husbands.
Also,
of Evelyn
Seven
Hugo.
Husbands of Seven. Okay, so also it's also in the same world as. Oh, I'm bleeding. That's okay. In the same world as. Yeah, it's in the same world as Daisy Jones in the.
Did you read Daisy Jones?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm going to though.
Okay, but you and somebody else from Bookstagram told me that Mick marries Evelyn.
Mm-hmm. It's the one. Remember when she marries one person, the one rock star, for like a day, and they divorce.
That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
But they mention it really quick in this book. It's like only a paragraph long because they say it was anonymous. It's a weird little paragraph. It's mentioned.
I know what you're talking because he they were just going over all of the marriages that he had, and it mentions like he married a really top-notch celebrity at one point,
Evelyn.
but that didn't last long, and they didn't name drop her, so I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But then like I think those subtle hints like that too is kind of great because it name dropped Don Adler.
Yep, and
Celia.
Yep.
Because it name dropped when I don't know if it was Mick's point of view, but it was because he was talking about a party where everybody found out that Celia was gay.
Yes.
And that was in Evelyn's world. I mean, obviously that's the same world, but that was in Evelyn's world. And I think that's kind of when they came out together, or spoilers about Evelyn. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty obvious. I think like going into Evelyn, when I started reading it, I knew that she was going to be gay because I think it's all over Bookstagram, and it's just like,
yeah, that's true.
It's pretty obvious too.
Okay. Well,
so I don't think it's too bad of a spoiler, but whatever.
Sorry.
I think if you want to read any Taylor Jenkins Reid book, I wouldn't listen to this because
they're all in the same world.
And I love that. I love when authors do that so much. This is super subtle, but it's cool because
you want to know who else does that? John Mars.
Yes, I know. I got to read the one.
Just saying.
Okay, but yeah. So I love that too. I think I wrote that down too. I think that's my first thing. I wrote Mick Rebus and then I wrote connection to Evelyn. But I wrote like, let's talk about Mick as a character and how awful he is as a person.
Yeah, I was upset at, first of all, how he treated her. Like, he was doing so well.
Treated in June.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
He was doing so well for the beginning. And then he cheated on her, and then she was like, whatever, maybe I'll think about taking you back. And then it just was a cycle. She would take him back, and then he'd be like, I'm leaving. Sorry, I found somebody better. And then he would pay like for child support and do whatever. But then at one point he stopped paying. I don't remember if it was before or after June died.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. He's just an awful person. I just didn't. I like in the beginning you were like, I feel like I had really high hopes for him being like super good and like I thought it was gonna be nice, but he ended up being just like so awful.
Yeah, he was just a piece of garbage.
And then he shows up at their party.
So I have to be honest with you, I was just reading the synopsis, and when I was writing this, I think I like copied and pasted the synopsis from Goodreads, and I was like, understanding when it was saying that Nina had to live for herself, and then Jay and Hud, their situation, but then it said Kit invited somebody, and I was like, who the heck? I don't remember that. And then I put two and two together literally just now.
Yeah.
That she's been inviting.
She's been inviting him for years.
Yeah. And then he just shows up.
This is another book that goes super in depth and deep, and there's a lot of parts to it. It's very similar to Survive the Night, but not like thriller. It's like there's a lot.
There was just a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
There was a lot that happened, and the chapters were kind of long. The
like
past ones were long.
Yeah.
The present ones were not so much.
No, yeah. So like each character had their own specific separate story, so that made it way more like just like a lot. It made it a lot, but it's not a lot at the same time.
One of the things that I loved about this book was that we would get the different points of view, like specifically at the party, and they were all kind of happening at once. So like when Hud is with Ashley kind of snuggling up on her, and then Nina's point of view, she's like, who's that over there with Hud? Oh, it's Ashley. And when we just read that chapter, and it's just kind of like all these things aren't happening one right after the other. They're happening at the same time.
And it's super cool that like.
And she wrote it so well.
Yeah, and it's not confusing because I feel like if it was somebody else, it could have been super, super confusing. But she did it so well. I feel like it's just because Taylor Jenkins Reid is such a good author. And
I loved Evelyn. I loved this.
Yeah, I'm excited
to read
Daisy Jones. Yeah. I'm so excited. I own Daisy Jones, so
get on it.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
So let's talk about some of. I know we were talking about everything that we like about this, but what are some things that you really, really liked?
I guess I just really liked everything about it. It was just super. That's why I gave it a 5. There wasn't really anything I disliked about it. Maybe there wasn't really anything I disliked. I just can't think of anything because it was just so. I liked the characters. I liked the nonlinear timeline. I liked the party and like the chaos that you felt when she introduced random characters at the time. It was just super good, and I felt that I liked the characters. Like I liked all of them, and they just all had their separate stories, which I really liked, and it was, I don't know, it was good. I liked everything about it. There wasn't really anything I didn't like.
One of the things, and I meant to ask you this, not to put you completely on the spot. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to on the podcast, but you have step siblings, right?
Yeah, I have.
They're not half.
Nope, they're step.
They're step.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that Casey, the other daughter, when she comes to the party, one of the things that she mentioned, and I've always kind of thought about this, but I didn't really think that it was like you'll understand, I think.
Yeah.
When Nina was talking to her and she was like, "Oh, Dad's here."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Dad? I've never heard the term used, Dad. I've only heard my dad."
Yeah.
Like, I've always had that because I have step siblings. I don't have any like biological siblings, so I've always just referred to my dad as my dad. Whereas like if you were talking to like your half sibling or even a sibling, you'd be like, "Oh, Dad's here."
Yeah.
But you've never had somebody else call your dad or like your mom or whatever. So like that kind of stuck out, and I was like, I thought I was the only one that thought weird like that.
Yeah, no, I think it was. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just because Dave is I think it's because Dave came into my life when I was older. I think if he came into my life when I was younger, it would be different for me because I just call him my Dave.
My Dave.
Because like he's my stepdad, and I think I refer to him as my stepdad rather than my dad, just because like whatever. But my mom, so like it would be weird to me if like Isabel said my mom about my mom.
Like if she was talking to you and she was like, "Oh, Mom told me this."
Yeah, that would weird me out because it'd be like,
"That's not your mom."
Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of where I was going with this. And like I have two cousins that are like brothers to me, and when we talk, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, Dad, oh, Mom, this."
Right.
We're not talking about each other. Like they're talking about their own parents. But that's the only time I've ever had a situation
where it's like that. Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like maybe overthinking it, but I've always felt kind of weird about that because like even in like with my in-laws.
Yeah. So they say dad instead of my dad.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like I've always like even when like I'm around Josh, he has 3 other siblings, so they'll all talk and be like, "Oh, Mom said this," or "Dad said that," and I will talk to them and be like, "Your mom did this, your dad did this." Like I'm not saying, you know what I mean?
No, I totally get it. And it's like when she refers to, it was like really quick that she transitioned into, "Oh, this is your dad too." Whereas like they just met and she was like, "Dad." I would be like my dad, and I feel like that's something that would be a long time to like be like, "Oh yeah," in your brain that, "Oh, this is like my sister."
It might have been a quicker switch for her because she already had siblings.
Right, and she's very mother-like. So like I think the nurturing of her came out as soon as she was like, "Yeah, my parents are dead," and like the abandonment of everything. I think that made her mother instincts come out, and she was like, "Yeah, Dad," and like. It's easier for her to think that way.
Did part of you think that Casey was a fake?
Yes.
Because I did.
Yeah, same.
I was like, she's just coming in for the money, the celebrity, like whatever.
I thought that was going to be the twist, that she wasn't really their sister, but I think.
We don't ever find out.
We don't know, and I think I like that because it shows how awful Mick is. Yeah. And like how there could be other Rivas out there.
And he literally, like, she went up to him and was like, "This is my biological mom." And he was like, "I have no idea. I slept with a lot of women." Like, yeah, and there's other Rivas out there. There could be a Malibu Rising too.
This man.
He's such a piece of shit, honestly.
I was like, this is my biological mom. I don't know her. Seriously? My thing's coming off.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I was so mad. Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah. He just also one of the well, actually, let's talk about what we didn't like first because I'm skipping a lot.
Okay, I don't have anything that I didn't like.
Really?
Yeah, I like this book a lot.
Okay. Well, I just put character-wise, I hated Mick and I hated Brandon. Nina's husband.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
He was such a scumbag. And it really kind of showed, I don't know how much they touched on it, but the generational trauma of how she was literally in the same situation as her mom. Brandon was like, peace out, I'm leaving, and came back and was like, I love you, I'm going to make things right. Fought with her and was like, no, I'm kicking you out.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like weird parallel to be like, that's exactly what your mom went through. And then Nina stuck it to him.
Yeah, I think that she experienced it as from June's point of view, kind of like, because she kind of just immediately stepped into June's shoes, and I think that's why she was like, no, this is not happening. And that's why I liked the ending a lot, because Nina got her own life that she wanted, and I think that out of all of the characters, she deserved it the most, because she felt the most pain. Not that Hud or like Jay or Kit felt the pain.
She was old enough.
She got the grunt of everything.
Yeah.
And I think she's like starting over. She's literally gonna start her own life, and I bet you $10 TJR starts her own book just about Nina and what she does when she moves away. Oh, 10 out of 10 would read.
So one of the things, and I put this under what I didn't like, it's not what I didn't like, but it's just a part that I need to talk about. So I almost rated this book a 4.
Oh gosh.
So
this is going to be a hot take.
Remember in the beginning when I said I thought it was a thriller.
Cool.
You're bleeding. You got shit all over the place.
It's a hot moment for me.
So when they were on the cliff talking, I was like, one of them is going to push Mick right over, and that's going to be the murderer.
Oh,
and that's, honestly, I'd be okay with it. And I was just trying to pinpoint
who was going
to do it. And I was really hoping it was going to be Nina. Like, after all the things that she got put through, I was hoping. But then I found out very quickly that it wasn't a thriller, because at that point, I was like, there's no murder yet. And I had 20 pages left. And I was like, Morgan, I don't think this is a murder. You just spent this entire book, whatever.
Just in your head, like, this, who is going to die?
Right. Like, well, it had me kind of like on the edge of my seat with all of the details and everything, because I thought somebody was going to die. But again, whatever. I still loved the book, but I almost rated it a 4 for that reason, because when they all talked Nina into going, is it Italy? Where was she going to?
I can't remember. Yeah, it's somewhere where she can surf a lot.
Yeah,
it's
so
like a
she
year-round surfing place.
Yeah, she was going somewhere in a different country, and she was going to live like on the water and surf and whatever. So as everybody's kind of leaving the house, Mick leaves and flicks the cigarette, and then the house goes up in flames.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh.
So I'm reading it, and I'm like, here's the murder. They're going to say, they're like, they all told Nina, get your stuff and go. We'll pretend like you died. We'll pretend you disappeared. And I was like, holy shit, is she going to die in the house? And then they actually think that she's like on the coast.
Yeah.
And then I was reading that and I was like, this is where the murder is going to happen. And I started crying and I was like, if Nina dies, I swear to God, I can't handle this.
Not Nina. Yeah.
And then like she got out, it was fine.
Yeah, I
whatever.
think that it was perfect though, because like because they're all super famous, like everybody knows who they are, and I think that that's what Nina needed, is like she disappears, because I think that the siblings were like, we'll just make it seem like you like we're missing, and that's her time to start over.
And it just kind of worked out. Like, I know it wasn't done on purpose, but I was just like, how are they going to end the book with them being like, oh yeah, we'll tell everybody that you disappeared. Like, it kind of weirdly works out that the house goes up in flames, because then they can say Nina was inside. But I was like, holy shit, is she actually going to be inside? And they don't know it.
Yeah.
They think Nina's out there living her best life. Honestly, I still gave it a 5 regardless. I feel like I would have... I didn't want Nina to die. Let me just make that clear. But that would have been such a twist.
Yeah, like one of the siblings dies. Yeah.
For Nina to die in the house, and then all the siblings be like, yeah, she made it. Yeah, and it just kind of would have been like the generational trauma again. June died and didn't mean to die.
Yeah. There's a high possibility that there could be a Nina story.
I would read it.
I think that there would be, because it kind of ends in a cliffhanger, because like there's could be so much more after all this party and like their lives. So there could be spin-offs with Kit, or like with
Hud and Ashley.
Yeah, Hud and Ashley, they're gonna have a baby. Like,
one of the things, actually,
okay, go ahead. No, you go first.
I don't think I disliked this, but it was just kind of confusing, and maybe it's something that I just didn't pick up on, so maybe you can explain it. But do you remember when Mick was driving to, I know you read this beginning of August.
Yeah.
When Mick was driving to the house for the party, it gave descriptions on how he turned without using his blinker. He was speeding going down the hill. He was doing all this stuff. And then Ashley was leaving at the same time. So I was like, oh my God.
Ashley's going to die.
She's going to die.
That's
oh my God.
Thinking.
And then that was just kind of given as a description. And that's when I texted you and I was like, the anxiety. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh.
And then at the end, Brandon left and he was wasted. And I was like, he's going to kill Ashley. Oh my God. And then he wrapped his car around a pole. And I just thought that those specific details were they gave me anxiety, probably what they were supposed to do. But like, was there something else there that I missed? You think?
No, I think it was, I don't really know exactly why she included that. I think it was just I don't know. I've never really thought about that, but I thought it was, I don't know.
It was just so specific to be like, he didn't say that he was driving down recklessly, excited to get there or whatever. It was like he made a left turn without using a blinker. He sped down the road when it was raining. It was like telling all of these detailed things.
Yeah, I think it's probably to like maybe to show how awful of a character he is. Because like if you think about it, and like when she described Ashley was like super careful and all that stuff. And then like I think it's just to show the contrasted characters, you know.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. I wish we could like interview her because that'd be cool. That'd be so cool.
TJR.
Yeah, TJR. Can you just like
give
us like 10 minutes?
Let's tag her.
10 minutes of your time.
That would be awesome. I probably would cry.
I would cry too. I love her. I think that she's probably one of my favorite authors, and I've just started reading her books, and she's probably one of my new favorite authors that I discovered this year. Yeah, so good. I wanted to ask you really fast because I know we're talking about this a lot, and there's a lot to talk about. Who did you like better? Like, who did you think was the better brother, Jay or Hud?
I saw that in your notes, and
it's so hard.
I think Hud went about it the wrong way.
For sure.
For clarification, Jay dated Ashley.
Yes.
They broke up. Hud started sleeping with her, fell in love with her, got her pregnant, and was like wanting to be with her.
Also, Hud was sleeping with Ashley while Jay and Ashley were dating.
I forgot that part. Yep. Yeah, okay, that's messed up. So that part is messed up. If we just forget that part, I think Hud went about it the wrong way because it seemed like he really did love Ashley and it seemed like Ashley really cared about him. I thought that she was just going to be like playing between the two of them. I thought she was going to be a player. And then she came out and she was like, I'm pregnant. And
when she said she was pregnant, I was like, huh?
Great.
I was like, what?
I think that's one of the ones that I said Jesus Christ out loud. That's when I texted you and I was like, I wish you could just see me reading this book right now because that happened and I think I said Jesus Christ out loud. And then maybe when Brandon showed up, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Why you gotta be like this? Sir?
Why you gotta be like that?
And then when his freaking his second
no,
wife
that's what it was.
When his
I
second
forgot
wife
about
shows
that.
us.
Yes, and she's on the front lawn being a crazy and then she walks up to Nina and she's like, I'm so sorry, I don't want to do this here. Well, why the fuck did you show up?
Yeah,
why did you show up?
Woman, you're crazy. So
what's your thoughts?
I don't know because they both kind of like Jay's a player.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like they're both kind of crappy, but I like them.
I like them too.
So it's like hard to say that they're crappy, but they kind of redeem themselves with the crappiness. So
and Jay, I will give Jay some credit. He forgives him, and I just love the family dynamic that they have. Like, he literally beats the shit out of him, and then he's like, "We're not okay right now, but you're my brother, and we'll be okay eventually." Yeah. And that's just like such a strong bond between family members, and I just love that.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was I like them both. I think they were both in the wrong. I don't think either one of them is a better brother, and I think that's they played off as their twins, and I think that's like a twin thing. So so yeah. So yeah, I really loved this book.
Yeah,
shit is falling off.
Okay, I have a couple other things really quick. Okay. I talked about that. So, Ricky, he was a sideline character. Ricky was the one that Kit wanted to have her first kiss with. Yep. And then she was like, it's not you, it's me. And he was like, yeah, whatever. Can we talk about his reaction when she was like, no, it's not you. I think I like girls. And she was so scared. That was the first person.
So sweet about it.
He literally, I looked it up. He said, where is it? He's like, girls are hot. And that was his reaction.
Yeah, that's what I love about TJR's book. it's like, oh wait, no, that didn't happen in, I'm thinking of a different book. But yeah, no, I love that. And I was like, he's just a cool, chill dude.
And he was just like, you know what? Okay, I am not, because he like had a major crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, all right, I'm not getting the girl of my dreams. She's into girls, so whatever. But his reaction was just so wholesome and so like, she was so nervous.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I get it. Girls
Yeah.
are hot.
Yeah, he was so cool about it.
And she was like, all right,
and
cool.
she's like, can we be friends? And he's like, yeah.
And he was fine with it.
Yeah, it
That
was
just
really
great.
sweet. I liked that part too. Yeah, I called Kit being a lesbian like immediately.
Really?
Yep, because when she was trying to get dressed for the party, and then her brother, when she put on something like a dress, and her brother was like, what are you wearing?
Ew.
Yeah, and she like felt uncomfortable in it. I think that's not that it's just based off dressing. I just think there was like, and then she started talking about girls and how certain girls looked in high school. I think that's when I was like, she's a lesbian.
I didn't.
It wasn't though. It was like the way she described, like she was like, I like the way these girls look, but that's not what I want to look like. And that's when I was like, she likes girls.
I don't think I picked up on that until she was like uncomfortable with kissing Ricky.
Yes.
And then she was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, okay.
She's a lesbian.
I just kind of figured that maybe she was trying to figure out her sexuality. I
Yeah.
didn't know if maybe like she just didn't know or if she was scared. It seemed like she was a little bit nervous and also trying to figure it out because she was like, well, I haven't kissed a boy. So like, how do I know?
Yeah.
And then she was like, nah, f this.
Yeah.
I don't like boys.
Yep.
I like girls.
Yep. I liked it. I thought it was a nice little difference in the story compared to like Nina and Jay and Hud. It was like a whole.
Yeah.
It was very different compared to them.
If you think about, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like that's a reaction that I would expect kind of now.
Yeah.
That
like,
happened in the
cares?
80s.
Yeah. And that's cool. It's really cool because like in the 80s that might not have been.
Yeah.
Like with a certain person and you would have like he could have reacted and been like.
And there would have been, that could have been a murder.
Yeah. It could have been. He
could have like twisted and yeah.
It could have been bad. So like it's pretty cool and like I don't know. I
just loved it.
Me too. I thought it was really great.
The very last thing. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 more things.
Okay.
The police.
Yeah, at the party. Okay. I don't know. Okay, you just talk.
Okay, so the police show up to the party because someone has a gun.
Yeah,
someone has a gun.
Randomly comes in. Not, I think they found it in the house and they're like just started shooting it off.
Yeah. And then Tareen, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. She calls the police, and the police show up, and I believe Tareen is either.
It's Nina's best friend.
Is she mixed or is she African American?
I think she's mixed. I'm not entirely sure though.
Okay, but she's not white.
Yes, she's not white.
So the police show up and they're like pointing their guns at her, and she's like, she's a sassy one. I liked her.
Yeah, she's so sassy. She just tells it like it is.
And she is just kind of like, what the hell are you doing? The people are in there. And then he's like, lady, calm down. And she's like, no, don't fucking tell me to calm down. People are shooting guns.
Yeah, she's like, I literally called you to get everybody out of here. And like, this is just like, this is this is out of control. And then
and they were like, where's Nina? And she's like, I told you 3 times. I don't know. Can you please do your job? And then he's like, lady, I'm going to arrest you for what the fuck ever. And she slaps him. And I was like, get him. I kind of figured she was going to get arrested after that. But I was like, you know what? Serve it to him.
Yeah. The cops were
assholes.
Complete assholes. And like, he took Tareen. I think it was Tareen. That he handcuffed her and like started feeling her up. Do you remember that? He started feeling her up.
I missed that part, but that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he started feeling her up, and she like something. I don't know. Something happened in between there, and a lot of people got arrested after that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they said that at the end.
So yeah.
And so the last thing, do we think, just to kind of, I mean, do you have anything else that you want to talk about before this question is kind of like at the very end?
No, I'm good. We pretty much talked about everything.
So do we think that it's a good thing that Mick flicked his cigarette and the house burned down? Like, do we think it's a good or a bad thing?
I think it's good because I think the burning of the house is like a transition and a reset for the family. Because I think that it's kind of like everybody can rebuild and start their own journeys now.
Yeah.
And they got their closure with Mick. and
Mm-hmm.
the party. I think this is that's the last party ever. I think that's
Going out with a bang.
yeah, and I think that it's a good thing because I think that really wraps up
The book,
everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that symbolized the ending of the chaos that Mick brought to their life.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it was just kind of like, leave us alone. Don't contact us again. A house is burning down.
this is it.
Yeah, this is it. Brandon, go frig yourself.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a good thing. I think it will open up new storylines too. There's possible new storylines for, like we said before.
Yeah.
So
I love this book. Clearly, I had a lot to talk about,
mm-hmm.
and I cried a lot during this book. But I just loved it so much,
Yeah.
and I would highly suggest this to anybody. Bookstagram really did good with this one.
Yeah.
And book of the month.
Yeah, book of the month.
Which?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I think so. We think that the book of the month picks are coming out. Excuse me. This today, because they usually come out.
Up yet.
Yeah, I figured. I think they'll probably end up putting it out on Tuesday.
They usually do it on the 28th.
I think it's too early. It's too early.
Stupid.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I just cut us off. But book of the month had
cool.
a really good.
Yeah.
Malibu Rising was an add-on or what? No, it was a book.
It was a pick. It was out of the 5 picks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a book.
It was good. I loved it.
And
it
we won't
was.
stop saying how much we loved it. But
yeah, I mean, Taylor Jenkins Reid's such a good author. Like,
mm-hmm.
she just, the way she writes her stories and the characters are just so good. And I just am super excited to read Daisy Jones, and like whatever else she comes out with, I'm totally gonna read it.
Saw another book. I think that either she's coming out with or it's already out. I don't remember the name of it. But
she has a few other ones that aren't as like hyped up as these,
mm-hmm.
but she has a lot of other books. Taylor
Yeah.
Jenkins, but
I wonder if they're all in the same universe.
I don't know, but I love that she does that.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like so in depth in the same universe, like you were saying. Just the fact that Mick and Evelyn they knew each other.
Yeah, she has a bunch of other books.
I'm seeing that in the reflection of your glasses.
Yeah, she has 1, 2, 3, 4 other ones.
Ooh, interesting.
Five other ones.
So with that being said, before we do our outros, do you have anything you want to add?
I don't at all.
Do you want to announce maybe the book that we're reading for September?
I do. Okay, so this was easy for us, I think. We had a discussion about one other one, but something happened in Morgan's life and she was gifted.
Oh, yes.
She was gifted a particular book.
I was.
And I was like, well, I mean, I want to read it, and you were just gifted to it. Mm-hmm. So, drum roll. Well, I just showed it.
Oh, it's all right.
Local Women Missing.
I'm excited.
Me too. It's super small.
That one's hyped up on Bookstagram.
So hyped up. I think everybody I've seen read this loves it. Absolutely
and we also
loves it.
We're going to have to, we kind of need a smaller book because we're recording the podcast a little bit earlier next month because of like our own personal timelines and stuff. But it's kind of going to be nice to have a smaller book.
Yeah, it's only, I think it's like 300 maybe. And we're not doing 2 books this time. Just one.
No.
350.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so it's a nice short read, and everybody loves it. So I'm really excited to get into it and read it.
I'm so excited too. I'm very excited.
And everybody who listens, read it with us so that like it's kind of like a book club, and then like you can listen to our thoughts and then go into the comments and just talk with us.
Yeah.
You know?
And maybe once we get a ton of people reading with us, we'll do like a Skype or something like that to talk with all of our followers. That'd be so fun.
Do like a monthly Skype, like just with our people who are our followers and stuff.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be so fun.
That would be tons of fun.
Yeah. So that's what we're reading next month. It'll be really exciting. It's gonna be coming out the next podcast will be coming out October 1st.
Yep.
October 1st. So you guys have plenty of time to read this little buddy book.
Yeah.
Little
exciting.
buddy.
So to kind of wrap up, we have to name our Bookstagrammer of the month. So I think that's a drum roll. I don't know what the hell that was.
It was the Crazy Arm Man.
Oh,
that are out front of.
All right. Anyway, so we have 2 of our friends. Well, my husband and his best friend also do a podcast. It's at Between the Bookends on Instagram. I think it's Between the Bookends pod. Or is it Between the Bookends?
I wrote at Between the Bookends. It's just at Between the Bookends.
Okay. So you guys should definitely check them out. Josh and Chris.
Nope. It's Between the Bookends podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
God. Rely on Danielle for one thing. I'm kidding. So at Between the Bookends podcast on Instagram. They record once a month, just like we do. They review their books, and we're kind of our inspiration for doing this.
Yeah.
At least mine. I really loved that they get to talk books, and then I would just kind of talk books with you, and then we're idiots. So
we're stupid. So we're like, we got to do a podcast because we're funny as frig. Ha!
Okay,
yeah.
well, I didn't think that.
You just said to me, okay, Morgan literally said to me, or like before we started podcasting, she was like, I'm funny. I don't know what you did, but it was kind of funny. Not really.
Wow.
Well, yeah, no, you guys should go listen to Chris and Josh.
They're on Spotify. They are on
Spotify, wherever you can find your
podcasts. Yeah, wherever you, like the podcast app, Spotify. They record once a month. They have a couple episodes out. I think they have like 5 or 6 episodes.
Let's see.
But they are who we're shouting out this month. Thanks for inspiring us to start this podcast. Thanks for supporting us and
letting me make your logo.
Yeah, letting Danielle make both of your logos. You made the other podcast one.
Thanks to you guys for like letting me do that stuff. I love doing that stuff, and you guys always come to me and it makes me so happy. So yeah, and I appreciate you guys just always just being like, hey, these girls are fun and they rock, but you inspire us at the same time.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay,
that's enough of that cheesy
I don't know
shit.
what else to say. You guys are awesome. We like you guys.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just kidding.
Morgan married one of them, so
That's probably why I'm like, I don't want to say nice things. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
But interact with our posts. I know we didn't really post much this month, but we're still trying to figure out the whole editing the podcast, posting on the Bookstagram kind of stuff. We also have our own personal Bookstagrams, so we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's hard to post stuff that's relevant for just the podcast and then ourselves too.
Right.
So it's like we want to put content on our book Instagram page that's relevant to what we're reading, but also not give too much away.
Yeah. So if you have any ideas of what you want us to do or things that you've seen that are fun on Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, Snapchat. If there's fun things on Snapchat.
Well, I feel like, so we have a few ideas that like we can introduce ourselves personally as hosts more, but book-wise, I don't really know what we can do without giving too much spoilers away what we talk about in the podcast. So, yeah.
Definitely tell us your thoughts. Interact with us. You may be the next person that we do for Bookstagrammer of the month.
Yeah.
And maybe catch a giveaway coming out sometime soon. I can't wink. Whatever. Anyway, where can they find you?
I'm at Danny Allreads on Instagram.
And I am at _bookmorgs_ on Instagram as well.
Yay! Thank you guys for listening, and go out and get some high noons. Enjoy.
They're good.
Yeah,
they are good. Danielle spilled it all over herself. She loved it.
That's how much I loved it. I just wanted to bathe in it. So yeah, go get some high noons. Go to your local beach.
Spilled it on myself.
She wants to bathe in it too.
I fucking hate you so much.
Go out, get some high noon, and go get Malibu Rising and maybe Bathhouse if you really want to read it.
Okay, but also Local Woman Missing.
Oh, yeah,
come on, Danielle. She's drunk already.
No, I'm not. I've like 2 sips.
Wasted.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you listening, and that's
Boozed and Reviewed. Episode 2 in the books. Okay.
I'm keeping that.